than they being taught about the linguistics of Nuwapic. So they know this. If they don't know nothing else, they know this. If you keep being a damn fool, you're going to keep being fooled by the damn fools that's fooling you. That's what they know. So when they pushing the Nuwabu and they're not really focused on the languages, they already know that if you get enough of this Nuwabu, you're going to gravitate to the language. The women instinctively know that. They know you. As long as you can't be fooled, you're going to be instinctively drawn to learn the language. It's going to happen.
You think that's something that'll come naturally?
It has to. You can't study Nuwapu and not be drawn to Nuwapu. And it's the other way around too. Once you learn the language, the language is going to make you automatically use Nuwapu. So it's going from now you having to consciously use Nuwapu to talk to somebody to it being a subconscious function by knowing the language. You're tapping into a different level of understanding now. Or
right, because like growing up in the Ansar Allah community, Pops always wanted us to focus on the language. The information was more for the outside world.
Yeah, because he knew once y'all got a grasp of the languages, the more definitions you know, the less likely you are to be deceived. Why you think all of his texts, he didn't just give you the information, he showed you the transliteration, the translation, and then he told you what it really means versus the implied meaning. A lot of translation get lost with the implication of the native speaker not being able to be carried over the literal word of the translator.
So
it's like little ways that in Leo talk that you could, like for instance, Psalms 91, Psalms 119. One is in Leo, one is Enki. You can feel the difference in them when you read the verses.
Yeah, you can, because there's two different tones, two different vibrations.
Now, a person that doesn't know enough to distinguish that will be trapped.
Why is that?
Because they can't tell that these are two different people. They think it's the same one God from Genesis to Revelation. They don't know that it's a pantheon of individuals jumping around playing shuffle me up to try to hide which one is who. They had a steady one-upmanship of trying to get. Enlil thing is he want all of the hearts of the people to be focused on him as Yahweh or Jehovah. Enki thing is he wants you to know that on your inner self, and what's encoded in you through the Anunnaki DNA is higher awareness and ascension abilities. Enlil don't want you to ascend because you won't have to worship a God outside yourself. As long as he compels you to worship a God outside yourself, he can subjugate you. Enki is telling his people, which was the Sign and the Zulu, don't listen to that bullshit. Listen to what your inner self tell you, because prime sources speak through you through the ether, the 9 ether. Activate the 9 ether and subjugate the chaos and use it to your greatest advantage. Enlil don't want that.
Can you go into Anu versus non-ether and El Kalum? Because even though Anu is called the Most High, and I understand it, people think that Anu created the universe, but that's not so.
Well, Anu won his throne in hand-to-hand combat against Iliu. So that tells you he wasn't the prime creator. His position is the executive leader of the Galactic Council. That's what makes him the Most High. Out of all of the males on the Galactic Council, he's most loved, most respected. And when he got trapped down here, when Enlil made his bid for power on Earth, he tried to take Earth from Enki and Inanna. Inanna is a title, not a name. So when he made his move for the throne, Anu had already told him Earth is a mitochondrial planet and women rule first. He didn't like that, and that's what caused all of this chaos we see now between patriarchy and matriarchy. Was the works of Enlil trying to push the patriarchal agenda on a matriarchal planet, and it caused the chaos we see, the disruption. Is everything is going against the natural order. The natural order of Earth is matriarchal, right? I don't personally give a damn about either one of them. I want the power to go where the power belongs, because then the machine run the way the machine is supposed to.
Absolutely.
And if the machine run the way that it's supposed to, Earth is heavy.
So let's elaborate a little bit on the matriarchal society or the matriarchal rulership, and why brothers are not really in tune with
let me touch on Anu a little bit more, because a lot of people are like, why don't you talk more about Anu?
Well, yeah, please do. Go ahead.
Anu is like the old man sitting at Big Mama house on the porch that she married to.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck what nobody do. As long as Big Mama not upset, he cool. When Big Mama get upset, then he gonna send all of them boys that's working out in the barn and in the field to go into town and find out why Big Mama not happy. That's where we at right now. All of the masters in the history of Earth is reincarnated at the close of the age to close out any remaining or residual conjures in order, because you can't close the age and open a new age with the same old clothes on. Right. So all that stuff had to be cleaned up, and Anu is the one who sanctions it at the end. Clean it up. She said, Big Mama said, clean it up. And then he say, well, Enlil started this shit trying to overthrow Enki. So then who is the next heir in line? And they came to Tahuti, or what they call in the text, NEGPIFOR.
NEGPIFOR? Yeah.
Yep. So his turn comes on as remember the story of Loki being the son of the Ice Princess?
Yes.
That's the story of NEGPIFOR never being allowed to test his grit to see if he can claim the seat. If there was no male galactic seat for Earth until Enlil tried to take power, then they opened up seat 50 for Earth, for what we call, that's the God seat of heaven and earth on Earth. So when the galactic seat 50 opens up, now we have a person that has to come from the 40th seat, which is the Queen of Heaven and Earth seat, in order to claim it. And then he's got to have the bloodline of one of the boys, Enlil or Enki, on the father's side. And then he got to have the bloodline or the mitochondrial rulership right from the motherline, which would be the Queen of Heaven and Earth seat. Then once he gets to the opportunity to seize power, then he get put to the test to see if he can control his Shakti, his divine feminine and divine masculine simultaneously. And the only way this is possible is supreme balance. And the only way you can find supreme balance is you have to find a counterpart to balance off of. And the women always, the mother picked the heir's wife, his consort, his number one. The queen mother picks the queen. He don't got no say until he interact with her to determine if she what his mama recognized him to be with. At some point, he gonna realize that they've been holding whole conversations and meetings in his face, behind his back, using him as a go-between for information. So they've been talking to each other without never seeing each other, psychically, using him as the connector through his heart chakra. So Anu only want this shit to be put back the way it's supposed to be. He don't care who win, who lose, as long as the shit done right, by the book, by the rules. So the only thing he's there for is to make sure that them boys that's having the family feud don't get involved in stopping the transition by using nefarious means. And they didn't like that. Well, Enlil didn't. So when Anu got caught down here, so everybody knows, if you go to Japan, those are his people. Anu, A-I-N-U. They are his people, and they would send delegations to Kemet and to where we call the great temple of Quetzalcoatl in Mexico.
Yeah, Quetzalcoatl. Yeah.
So that's where they would go to be educated as priests of Anu, or the Most High. And his instructions is to do what's right by the laws of righteousness and restore the balance to nature. That's it. That's his only order. He ain't get no more orders than that. The most of the rules and regulations we go by are Enlil's.
He's Enlil is more militant.
Right. So when you see all of these streets and straight lines and regimented, that's Enlil's creation. And Inky is more with the concentric circles to the center and using the most vile soldiers out at the further reaches to keep anybody from getting in. And when you go back and read about Atlantis, you see that's the structure of the cities.
Absolutely.
Concentric circles to a center. We used to keep the matriarchs in the center, right? And the matriarchs kept the children with them, and then all of the soldiers in ranks would spread out to the furthest reaches of the city. So by the time you get to the inner city, if you can make it that far, you're a bad motherfucker. But it's all about different thinking patterns. So if you see the straight lines, you know that's linear logic. When you see the concentric circles, you know that's right brain abstract.
So why is it that brothers have a problem with the women coming to power and breeding the patriarchal?
They don't understand matriarchy, but feminism is their understanding of matriarchy. Feminism is not matriarchy. Feminism is patriarchy with women in the place of men.
Absolutely.
Matriarchy is predicated upon the care and maintenance of children for the future, because we see the children as the future in the matriarchy. But in the patriarchy, it's a dog eat dog, best man for itself, every man go your way.
Selfishness, individuality.
Right. And that's what Enlil brought. That's why they confounded the languages in Babel in order to be able to conquer the vastness of the globe. They couldn't do it using one language because we would all speak the same language. It would take us no time to all get online with the same, hey, this is motherfucker don't belong here. But when you got different languages and you need translators to communicate across language barriers, then you can't quite see what you up against. But yeah, they scared of the matriarchy because under patriarchy, men is subjugated women and children and other men. And they feel that under the matriarchy, a woman is going to subjugate them. Women don't think like men. And that's the problem with most men is they expect a woman to behave and think like men when they in power, when the difference in matriarchy and patriarchy is this. Patriarchy is conquest at all costs. Matriarchy is be, but just be your best self. That's the difference.
So do you think that there is a specific qualification of the women that form like a matriarchal council, or how would you expound on that?
Well, one, they don't hold elections. That's the first thing you got to understand. The whole election thing that we've been seeing is a dog and pony show. It's a selection process and a survey. Under the matriarchy is predicated up on the work you do to earn your position. Most loved, most respected, moves highest in the society. So if you constantly doing shit that keep your ass getting lumped upside the head by motherfuckers, it's gonna be a while before you be able to get your position.
So who do we elect, female wise?
We don't elect them. The women show love and respect to each other. And the woman that has the most matriarchs respect is the highest ranked matriarch.
She becomes the female Anu.
On earth, yeah. And right now, most loved, most respected on the matriarchs with the blood ties to the land is Mother Khadijah from the Farrakhan wife.
Why is that?
Because she is the most loved and most respected of the matriarchs. She got more matriarchs under her direct call than any other woman on earth. Then she could pick the phone up and call them and say, I need you to bring your clan. They're going to bring the whole fucking clan. Nobody on earth got more matriarchs ready to move at a moment's notice than she do.
Damn. So does it matter if we all do not subscribe to the same ideology and doctrine?
It don't matter. You under matriarchy, you can believe whatever you want to believe as long as you respect the respectable. You don't have to believe the nation doctrine in order to recognize who the women pick as the woman that they love the most. So imagine this. You got a house with 5 sisters in it, right? And them sisters is going to 4 of those sisters is going to have more love for one of the sisters than they do for the other 4 or the other 3. So she, in them 5, she becomes the default leader they all love and respect. Because you got to have the love and adoration of the other people in order to move in positions in the matriarchy. That's how you keep a despot out of position.
So how should we teach the people to view Anu?
I wouldn't teach them to view him no kind of way. Because Anu want everybody to recognize, the same as Inky, he want them to recognize their inner God. He don't want them to worship or kiss his ass. That's Enlil shit. Anu wants you to know that there is a part of God in you that through self-discipline and training, you can be your own God and manifest your own life. That's what they call living your best life. The life you work for to create is your best life. The life that somebody gave you and you miserable living it is not your best life. Sometimes you are more happy living in the dirt by yourself, feeding goddamn wild animals than you do being a rock star on stage in front of thousands of people.
That's absolutely correct, because that don't necessarily bring you happiness. It brings you attention, not necessarily happiness.
So when you know what you want out of life, like I don't want shit. All I want is my children not to have to go through the shit we went through. That's the only want that I have. And that want ties back to a righteous endeavor to stop our children from warring against each other because somebody on the outside told them they was enemies.
How would you say that we should appeal to the youth now that gangbanging has become the new age religion for them?
First of all, it's a difference in the gang culture from what's really going on and what the media report. The media is only going to villainize the ones that they can villainize. Most gang members never even get talked about in the news. The police officer trained his son to see stuff that other people miss. Right? I forgot what the name of it is. Psych. Right? So his father trained him at an early age. That's actually a training technique developed under a hypnotist by the last name of Esther Brooks.
Go ahead.
Esther Brooks was the one who discovered that you can create a whole personality and use what you call muse to shift parts of the personality to the source in which you want to ship to. The person that you delivering the message to, this is the psychic spy program. The person you need the message get to will trigger the hypnotized person to deliver the message and never remember delivering the message. The other person to be hypnotized to receive the message, but they never know they received the message. All right. Now, the deductive reasoning part, when you in hypnosis, right? Let's go to Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, right? When they try to use deception on him, he stopped. And he noticed that there's something wrong, but he don't know what it is. All right. So in the Sako Mao monkey mind, if you can train your monkey mind, when it's seeing an anomaly, you will perform what's called a backflip. You'll keep seeing the same thing come up over and over again because you in a perpetual monkey flip backwards. The purpose of a backflip is to keep you from being confused, right? Or walking into a hostile situation. Monkey see snake, monkey don't move, right? But the monkey got to warn the elephants that the snake is in the grass. Right? So what do the monkey do? Create a compelling spectacle for their laws of power.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. This shit is heavy. This ain't shit might be over some niggas here. I'm with you though.
Right. So the monkey started doing flips because that's why the monkey came in on the elephant back.
Okay.
Elephant is the symbol of the matriarch.
Okay.
The matriarch symbol is the elephant, but the baby that they can't control is the symbol of a monkey. Compared to analysis by deductive reasoning. Right? So when you know that the monkey came in on the elephant back, go to Google and put monkey on that monkey came in on the elephant. Monkey on elephant. They're gonna show you this is an ancient symbol that we've been using in the culture to find out who the area is and who's responsible for closing.
Oh yeah, this shit is fire, right? That's a. I remember, now this shit coming to me. This was in Lion King too.
Yeah, you see that picture? Oh, you just went from it.
The monkey sitting on the. He looking right here.
It's another one I like. That right there. Yeah, that I like that.
I'm gonna save it right
here. Might have to have you send that one to me.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna save it in your folder real quick. I can send it to you. Man, this is crazy, man. You be dropping all kind of shit every time. Come on, bro. Hold up.
Okay, now this is the game of the mastermind. Right? It's a board game. Because you got to be bored to play it.
That's right. Go ahead.
Right? Now, the monkey that came in on the elephant back as a baby grew up to be a gorilla when they thought he was only a chimpanzee. Right? Everybody else had him pegged wrong.
That's right. Go ahead.
Right? So the gorilla key is the fuck it key. Because I don't give a fuck about what them other motherfuckers think. I know what I see.
Right.
Okay, so now the mastermind works off of another game called Clue.
All right.